Welcome to the Buylist. This is episode 56.
This is not financial advice. This is a tier list. Shisha. I'm still going to throw something at you. Let's talk about MST Theodore. Where you want to start?
We're starting right from the top, Nate. We got them here. We got all 40. Well, no, this isn't all Majestics. This is 40 out of 43. We're obviously leaving out the heroes for obvious reasons. But yeah, we're going to go through these. We did this for heavy hitters. It was a lot of fun. We have a kind of our own tier list, as you can see, set up, kind of transferring it over from the heavy hitters list with Banger at top. We got Slaps, Okay, I See You, Mid as Hell, You Adorable. And we've switched it up now that Slay is a playable card, and I have to give it respect. We're switching up to the Dust tier, which, spoiler alert for the Majestic towards the end of this tier list.
Yeah, I mean, we can just start with the Dust. We don't even have to put it at the end.
Yeah,
We
it's so true. We just put it in its home.
Yep.
Time to go home.
Yep.
Dust.
The Dust of the Dog Water Shrine. Because that's what that card is absolute dog water.
07.
Like, even if Dromai was still a legal hero, it would still fall in that slot. Card sucks. I understand it's thematic. They want to do the Dust for every region, but
yeah,
mid as hell. Actually, not even mid as hell, just Dust.
Not even mid as hell.
Yeah,
it's
right,
just not a legal card in CC at the moment.
Yep.
LL format only. Yeah, it's just they can't, it's just a little bit of delay, right? They hit the print button a long time ago, and this is going to happen. So it'll be sitting there waiting for Dromai when she returns to Classic Constructed with her new form, and we'll have to revisit it at that time. So
I mean, clearly I've been right all along, and LSS even thought Dromai was unplayable, and that's why they decided to hit the print button months ago. And then they're like, "Oh crap! How did Arthur Drahay win this one?"
They did edit LL points too, right? So now they're less surprised by big weekends, which, I mean, Dromai just had the Pro Tour, right? That was it. So
yep, yeah.
But we can talk about that next episode. Let's jump into these. There is 39 of them to go, Nate. So let's get cracking. The first one here is Gorgon's Gaze. It is a Mystic Assassin attack reaction. Create a Slither in hand, banish all defending attack action cards on the combat chain. If Chi was pitched this way, you may play the banished cards as combat chain without paying their cost.
I want to say You're Adorable, but I think it's probably mid as hell. Like, I just don't know that this does enough. I think it's a very powerful effect. It's going to be like a very thematic theme throughout a lot of these cards, like very powerful effects.
Yeah.
No idea if they're good enough yet, which is actually really good card design. It's beautiful. Like, so many of these cards we look at and we're like, that can either be one of the most insane cards you've ever played in your entire life, or Dust of the Dogwater Shrine. Those are like the scaling on it, which is really cool, because it's not just like, these are the best cards, these cards suck. All of these cards are going to be sellable, which is fantastic for me. I'm cracking a lot of boxes. So like, I think it's probably going to end up being mid as hell, but like, you could easily tell me that after US National, this card is like in the slaps tier, which I guess we didn't go through like what the tiers meant. Like, the tiers are not like power level per se. these tiers are more going to be based off of like where they are like monetarily post release. Just right.
Yeah, market focused more than power level.
Yes.
But obviously they go hand in hand as we're talking through them, right?
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be a more expensive card if every new has to play 3 of these, right?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. I don't think this is a 3 of main deck. The one thing is, and I guess I skipped over this part, it is a yellow pitch. It costs 2. The slither is a go again to your next attack action. So I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I think it sits between like mid or okay, I see you. I think this is really good into certain heroes. If you're playing a hero that has a lot of go again attacks and they have to block with them,
Yeah.
that way you can kind of chain those all together. But if it's there's a lot. If it's a hero that's just going to block with a couple cards and then you can only play one of them, you do get the slither to give it go again. I believe slither says any attack,
Yeah.
so that's kind of
There's
wild.
any attack.
So yeah, I kind of agree with you. As I talk through this, it's like, man, this is like kind of crazy, but I think it's like hero dependent, like who you're facing, really.
Yeah. And because it's only Mystic Assassin, I think it does definitely cap the upside of the card of like being like one of the most expensive cards in the set. So I think it'll probably end up being mid as hell.
Yeah.
What's funny is like it does combo really well with the next card we're about to talk about, which is Siren's Call.
Yes.
And I think I have no idea what the actual text box on that is. I think I'll let you read it because I don't.
Yeah, I got you. So it's Sirens. So the next one up, yeah, we can throw. So yeah, let's throw Gorgon's Gaze in mid as hell. The Mystic, it being locked to new only means it's going to be new dependent, and then it's also going to be meta dependent.
Yeah.
Like I said, but I agree with you. This card could just jump a couple slots as soon as we just see somebody just like absolutely brutalizing somebody on stream at Nats.
Yes.
Like that could definitely happen. So keep an eye on this card.
Yeah.
I think we're going to say that a lot in this tier list, Nate. But yeah, let's jump over to Siren's Call. So this is a red pitch, cost 1. This is another Mystic Assassin attack reaction, blocks for 3, and it says look at the defending hero's hand and choose a blue card. Add it to this chain link as a defending card. If you do, draw a card. Yeah. Side note on the, like, I was looking through the release notes. You can choose Heart of Findel. You can choose Arknight Shard. It does not have to have a block value. It's just as long as it's blue, you can pull it down onto the chain link, which is whoa. The Heart of Findel pull down is like, oh boy. Because for like a deck that's trying to fatigue, that's like 3 to 4 health, maybe 5.
Yeah. Just give me that.
I'll take that.
Again, it's gonna be Mystic locked. So I think it probably also falls in mid as hell. But again, like I think especially like US Nationals is kind of gonna determine where these prices end up. Whereas like if we see some news on coverage just like wrecking people with these 2 cards, can definitely see these like spiking. But I think like I think they're kind of capped at like $10-ish just because they're new locked. And we'll talk about it a little later, but like I really like the design in terms of the majestics in this set, but we'll talk about it when we hit the non-mystic cards.
Just like both these cards just scream like tech, just like very tech oriented cards, right? Where it's just like, hey, you got this problem, this is a cool way to solve this. Where I was kind of going back through our old tier list to build this one, right, for heavy hitters, and it almost felt like heavy hitters was like I didn't even need to read the cards until I started the episode and I could be like, yeah, Blade Fury is a 2+2+2, this is easy math, numbers good, big numbers. Where these are like, hey, do this thing that doesn't feel innately powerful when you read it, but when you play it, you might be like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. So,
or like Gorgon's Gaze reads insane. Like you can banish, you can I mean, let's say they block 2 cards on your CNC, you Gorgon's gaze them away, blow up their arsenal, give the CNC go again, and then play the cards that you just banished. Like, that's such a huge match swing. The
Yeah.
cool part about that though is like, I don't think outside of Dust, we are seeing like quarter majestics in this set. Like, these
Yeah.
cards are all gonna move because people will be like, I want to try that in my deck. Like, that's interesting. That's a cool
Hmm.
thing. I think that could be interesting in my local meta. And like, this might help me at my armory because everybody has the guy who just like tries to block and takes it to time.
Yeah, both these effects, and I've been hearing it from some podcasts on Twitter too, is people that are playing new and trying her out is saying that this deck is like fun as hell. And both Siren's Call and Gorgon's Gaze just sounds like fun and like something that's not really been done in Flesh and Blood before, right? It's a very new and interesting. It opens up a lot of like new and interesting play lines and things like that,
Get
right?
it? New.
Haha, shing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump to the next card here, Nate. Sacred Heart, Undercurrent Desires. It is blue, cost 3. It is a legendary. It says when you played another blue this turn, choose 3. Otherwise, choose 1. Create a Fang Strike and Slither in your hand. Banish up to 2 cards from an opposing hero's graveyard, and then Transcend. And it is an instant, and it obviously instants don't block.
Mhm. I think this card sucks. I think this card is actually the worst sacred art they printed because the second line of text actually doesn't, in a lot of cases, doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's
But there's going to be that creepy guy who's got the big booby anime mat who wants that like 15 copies of this card because he can't keep it clean. And that's why it's going to fall into the adorable tier because everyone's going to want to at least either try it in their deck or pin them on their ceiling. And it's at least going to be
yeah.
worth $1 or 2. It's not going to be worth a quarter. So it'll at least be adorable, but the card is not very good.
Yeah, I mean, you've had to play a blue card and then also pitch for 3 for this.
To get 1 damage and
So
go again.
yeah. Yeah. Um yeah. Unless you're playing Vincent, this card is just off. It's not good.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
Man, I can't help think about Vincent when I read these cards. Oh my god, this is such an auto loss for her. Anyways, because everyone's like, "Oh, you just don't put blues in your deck," and I'm like, "Yeah, but what about these 3 cards we just talked about?
Yeah.
Blood Debt 10, turn 3."
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
moving on. Yeah, so we can put that one in adorable. I agree with you. It's kind of a tall order, and the 3, even if you get to do all 3, it's kind of still kind of mid. All right, we're gonna move to the next one, Nate. Manifestation. Oh my god.
Manifestations of Miragai.
Yes, there you go. Thank you for the assist on that
Yeah.
one. It costs 3. It is a blue pitch. It says when this enters the arena, with 2+1 counters, or no, this enters the arena with 2+1 counters. If a chi was pitched to play this, instead enters the arena with 4+1 counters. Ward X, where X is the number of +1 counters on this. It is an instant aura.
This card is very good.
Yeah. Yeah, this card is super good.
This card's very good, and I think Enigma is quite good as well.
Yeah.
And this card is kind of like, I was actually much lower on this card until I saw the Mystic headpiece, which that card is freaking
Mm-hmm.
nutso butso.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes this card even better because that is like what you want, like going and getting a chi to play this card, because playing this card with a chi means you're attacking for 8 and defending for 4. So That's pretty good. You're 2-card 12ing. You have to fight it like Tunic to swing it, but like whatever. Easy.
Whatever, easy.
Easy. And technically
Yeah,
with the
it's
headpiece, it's not even like you're like using the card. So like you can like block 3 cards, block hat, get your chi, play this Tunic 8. It's just like, excuse me?
yeah. This is a probably our first banger. I would say. I think this is a 3 of in every Enigma deck. It's like a core piece
No way it's a
that you
banger
look to
then.
play.
It's an Enigma only card, so it's probably gonna be like a
Oh, right.
I think it's probably I think it's okay, I see you. I think this is probably a $10 card all day long.
Yeah,
But I think just because it's hero locked, it's kind of capped at the okay, I see you tier.
yeah. All right. Um, I agree. Yeah, that makes sense.
But look,
Next
I
one
don't
up.
know anything about illusionists, so I'm not gonna
Yeah,
argue.
I'm not. We're gonna move on. And, I can't even say. I can't even pronounce the card. So let's just keep moving.
Yep.
So the next Sacred Art is up here. It is a blue pitch, cost 3 again.
Yep.
Immortal Lunar Shine or Shrine. It is legendary. If you played again, same templating here. If you played another blue card this turn, choose 3. Otherwise, choose 1. This is create 2 spectral shields, put a +1 counter on an aura with ward you control, and then transcend.
Card's real good.
Yeah, much better than the assassin version.
Way better. The fact that
Yeah.
it gives +1 counters to all auras you control is
Oh
crazy.
yeah, on each.
So
Yeah.
if you already have a Miragai out, you basically add 1 block to it and 2 attack. Like,
Yeah.
excuse me? So like let's say like your turn is headpiece, play out the Miragai with the chi you just got, and then you play this card with another blue, and then you create 2 spectral shields, give Miragai like, and then you get a chi back in your hand to basically throw the board at him.
Yeah.
What else do you want out of life besides big numbers, big damage?
Yep.
Card's real good. Again, hero locked, legendary. So this one's gonna fall, I think, like between like okay, I see you in mid as hell. It really
Yeah.
depends on how rare the card actually is in terms of like drop rate. Because we've
Yeah.
seen it
If
before
it's
with these
short
like
printed. Yeah.
these legendary specializations that like there's way too many of them. Market's just full. Nobody
Yeah.
needs that many copies, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna say like mid as hell because I think they might make these a little bit more common just because they are both front and back. So like more casual play, you might just like here's the front side like my dragon, and I have my chi or my Marvel chi over here that I'll bring in when I flip it.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on that one.
Yep. Okay, so the next one up is 3 visits. It is a red pitch, cost 3, Mystic Illusionist Aura. It says Ward X, where X is 3 times the number of blue cards you pitch this turn.
Um,
I don't think this is very good.
yeah. Ted, did you hear that? Dong, dong. Oh, is that the dong of the Shrine of Dog Water? Yes, it was, because that's exactly where it belongs. That card's garbage. Get it out of here.
It's just too hot. It's just like it's too cute to like try to be pitching all these blue cards. Like realistically, you're like, let's say you pitch 3 blue cards and your third one is to play this. So then you have Ward 3. Like, woo.
You don't have
I don't know. I don't see
you have
it,
so you
right?
would have Ward 9 if you pitched 3 blue
Oh,
cards.
3 times. Yes, I'm
But
sorry.
how in the hell are you getting 3 blue cards in your pitch zone and then still having this card in your hand? Like the card just sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
It-
I think it's really hard, and plus it's a red pitch, so it just like it feels like it would just clunk up. Again, I don't know much about these heroes, but it just I don't think you want to be seeing a red in your hand very often, right? So
If this was 4 visits, sign me up.
yeah.
Sign me up right
Right.
now. 3
Yeah.
visits, not
Yeah.
enough. 4, I'm in.
Not enough.
I'm in.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so the next one, we've moved into the Mystic Ninja cards.
Yeah.
Tooth and Claw. It is a red attack, cost 0, attack power 4, defense 3. It says when this attacks, you may reveal any number of Crouching Tigers from your hand. If you revealed 1 or more, this gets go again. 2 or more, this gets +1. 3 or more, you draw a card. So this is like Phoenix form.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the Mystic Phoenix form. It's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes great. Rarely ever
Rare
insane.
busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rarely ever
Yeah.
busted. It I don't like the fact that there's not. I want this card like man, you read all the freaking Enigma cards and new cards, and they're all so broken. And then you read
Yeah.
all of freaking Zen's cards, and it's just like,
What happened?
who the fuck half cooked this pasta? Like, this card isn't broken. It's good. It's great sometimes. You are never making this card broken.
Yeah, it's really I don't know how you get 3 Crouching Tigers in your hand. That's very hard to do.
Yeah.
And then at a minimum, to play this card, you need 1, right? Because
Yeah.
you need go again. So
The worst
maybe
the worst part is it doesn't even say combo on it. Like,
yeah.
make it say combo so you can at least search it when you want it, when it's really good. Like, that's so good. Like, why does it not say combo? Make
Nah,
it
that's
say
true. You
combo.
can't even go grab it.
Um,
Yeah, I think this one's like adorable.
yeah. I mean, like, it's probably the bread and butter of like Zen decks, so it's probably just call it adorable. It sucks.
Yeah. All right. Next one up, Shifting Winds of the Mystic Beast. This is a blue card, 1 cost, ninja action, blocks for 3, and it says whenever you play a Crouching Tiger this turn, name a card, it gets that name. If a chi was pitched to play this, create 2 Crouching Tigers in your hand. Go again.
Oh, that one creates it in hand? Okay. Maybe we need to move Tooth and Claw up. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because this does get it to 5, a 0, an 0 for 5. Go again.
All right, move Tooth and Claw up to mid as hell. I thought that one was banished. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
So like this card is actually very. This card is like broken level. It like the thing I couldn't figure out is like Zen is kind of like this weird deck where he has the ability to shuffle a lot, so you're gonna draw more chi once you play them.
Mhm.
Which the other 2 decks like really won't draw their chi until like second cycle.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, unless they play the best Transcend card, which is obviously Stir the Pot, best art,
Yeah.
best card, clearly. So like this card is like very strong and enables a lot of the things that Zen wants to be doing, creating 2
Mhm.
Crouching Tigers, and the headpiece like only further enables that, which is like so cool. But like there's like cool things that you can do with this card and like Fluster Fist. So you can name your tigers Open the Center, and then your Fluster Fist basically turn into Salt the Wounds. Which, because no
Mm.
one's actually ever played Open the Center, they're all currently in their they're all currently in February reading the text box on Open the Center,
Yeah.
and it says if Open the Center was the last card in the combat chain, Fluster Fist gains +1 for each card that it hits this turn.
Yep. Pretty
So
decent.
if all your Crouching Tigers are Open the Centers, you can just have like multiple Salt the Wounds on this like go wide Tiger turn. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kinda
Um,
crazy.
so I think this card is probably going to fall in to mid as hell though,
Yeah.
because who knows what ends up being like the best version of Zen anyways, and like does this card make the cut?
Yeah.
Is the thing.
I think yeah. Zen's cards are probably going to be a little bit lower on the market, right? Because I think, people will want to play him. People are going to go get his cards, but I think it's definitely going to be less than the other two heroes in this set.
Yes, agreed. Yep.
Okay, so the next one here, Sacred Art, Jade Tiger Domain, blue, pitches cost 3. It is a Mystic Ninja instant, obviously. Legendary. Again, if you played another blue card, choose 3. Otherwise, choose 1. This one, 3 modes are create 2 Crouching Tigers in your hand. Your Crouching Tigers get +1 this turn, and then transcend.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty solid.
Yes. Yep.
A lot can be said for the last card we just looked at. For this card, right? 2 Crouching Tigers in your hand.
Yep.
And then +1 to your Tigers, which is really kind of Zen's juice, right? You're going to be trying to do Art of War turns where all your Tigers get +1 because, they're base 0. So you have to give them some power to make it worthwhile. So,
yeah. The fact that you have to play a blue card and pitch a blue card to then transcend to do this is a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
But it's still on its face pretty strong. I just think that Zen is probably going to be the least loved out of these heroes, so it probably falls into a you're adorable.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Next one up. Okay, so now we're moving out of Ninja and we're moving into Mystic. So this one, Nate, is Attune with Cosmic Vibrations. It is a Mystic attack action. Attack action. Base of 2, blocks 2, but it says when this attacks a hero or defends a hero's attack, reveal the top card of their deck. If the revealed card is blue, this gets +3 attack and then +3 defense.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna argue for slaps tier.
Whoa.
On one condition. It's gonna be in the slaps tier for 2 weeks. But then people are gonna realize what this text box says. So I read this card and I was like, oh, this is like Ravenous Ravel, but blue. And you reveal your deck. And you've got 35 blues in your Enigma deck. That's sick. This is a block 5 in your stupid Enigma deck. Guys,
their deck.
It says their deck, not your deck. But there's going to be Timmys like me who are going to think it means your deck. And they're going to put it in their deck, take it to an armory, and then someone's going to correct them. And then they're going to want to sell the stupid card because it's not actually that good. But don't tell anybody that because it's going to start in slaps tier. And then it's going to go into the you're adorable tier after 2 weeks or the first time someone plays an armory.
Yeah. I was like, wait, their deck. I was like, well, okay. So this is at best a sideboard card for Mystic Mirrors.
Yeah.
If you're playing a Mystic hero, you're like, oh, let's slide 3 of these in. This is great. They should be doing the same so you guys can just
Mystic each other. Yeah, I don't.
Just Mystic all over each other with this card and have fun with it because this is just and maybe Guardians maybe, so it's very matchup dependent, and like you said, I think it's it's gonna be decent, but sideboard tech card.
Yeah, I put it in my deck and I was like, this card's gonna be so nuts. And then I started testing in one of my buddies on KO, and then I blocked with it, and then it revealed the top card of his deck, and I was like, huh, it must be bugged. But joke's on you, I hit your blue Roundup. And then I proceeded to hit 3 of his blues with that card. I was like, this card's nuts anyways. But it's not. It's not very good.
Yeah. Okay, so the next card up, Nate, is this one's wild. Cosmic Awakening. It is a blue card. It costs 9. It is a Mystic attack. It attacks for a star and it blocks for 3. And the text box says if 1 chi was pitched to play this, Cosmic Awakening's attack is 10. If 2, Cosmic Awakening's attack is 15. if 3 were pitched, the attack is 20. 20 is a big number.
20 is a very big number. So, 1, it's got the Timmy factor. It says 20. And y'all know I like big numbers, and I cannot lie. Timmy's also like big numbers. Will it ever be 20? No.
No.
Will it sometimes be 15? Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Will most of the time it block 3? You bet your ass it will.
Yeah. This is a very like I'll just block with this card. And then like maybe codex it into my arsenal if I have like cheese and
you got
codex
discard a
in
card,
my hand.
bro. You can't codex that into your arsenal.
Oh,
you just set it up for like second cycle. Like if
this is like a cool, like I think this is like one of those like, hey, check out this like cool fun thing you could do this one time ever. But you're gonna have to take 20 because you have 3 cheese in your hand that don't block. Like you had this sitting in your arsenal for 3 turns.
I do really like this card design though, because it is I feel like this is the first card that they've printed that basically gives a middle finger to fatigue. So like if fatigue ever becomes very prevalent, it's just like cool, I'll play 3 of these and I will just pitch deck all of them. And then like my deck will be 4 cheat and 3 of these bad boys. So I will send 20 at your face to end the game. So I think it's really cool. It's playable in all 3. I think the thing that hurts it the most is you're probably never playing 3, but I think people will probably still pick up 3 copies. So I'm going to say, okay, I see you. Mid as hell.
Wow. Hi. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's probably adorable, right?
No way it's adorable.
I mean, on launch, I guess mid. Yeah.
It's going to be mid.
You're like $5 to $8 maybe.
Yeah.
And then it will slowly creep down until, like you said, fatigue becomes a problem, and then it becomes the hotness.
Yes.
All right. Next card, Mystic Attack. Again, it is called Levels of Enlightenment. Cost 1. It is blue, of course. I think all Mystic cards are blue.
Yes, that is correct.
When this attacks, choose 1 for each blue card you pitch this turn. Draw a card, +2, go again. Hey, we've seen those 3 before.
Yes.
It attacks for 3 and it blocks for 3.
It's been
thank God this thing blocks for 3.
The word on the street is they're calling it the Chi Strike.
Yeah. Again, it's like how many blues you pitching, man? Like
okay, so
I guess if you pitch 2, it's like
so it blocks 3. Worst case scenario, this is a critical strike because you can make it a 1 for 5 and it's blue. That's not bad.
That's true.
Like you can, like in Enigma, you can, let's say, play a 2-cost aura, throw this for 5 off of your 2-card hand. You can, like, if you have a bigger hand, it lets you utilize it. So you can go again on this, play something, play another one, draw a card, whatever you want to do. So like if you ever let's say you pitch a blue and transcend, you're probably going to use that blue to use one of the transcend abilities in any of the heroes. So then that automatically turns on at least 2 modes of it, and then like it's a blue 1 for 5 go again. Like that's very good. I think this is our first banger. I think all 3 heroes are interested in this card. If not actively wanting to play it.
Yeah, I think you convinced me as you talked through it, right? I wasn't seeing the lines, but yeah, you're right. Man, I think it's really good that this blocks 3. I think if it blocked 2, you would be starting to question life a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
But everything you just talked about is, you're right. That is pretty solid. And like you said, all 3 new heroes will, at a minimum, look at this card. Yeah, because 1 for 5s are not bad, especially if you can give it go again, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this actually could be a $15 cardish.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the more expensive cards in this set. Um, just because there's three heroes that are going to be like vying for this card.
Yep. All right. Next card up here is Unravel Aggression. Un yeah. Yeah. Well, that is kind of a weird name for that. Unravel Aggression. So it is blue. It costs 3. It is a defense reaction, mystic defense reaction. And it says if a chi was pitched to play this, draw a card. It blocks for 5.
Chi movable,
Chi movable,
as they,
yeah.
as they call it. I think Enigma wants to play this card. It lets her
Yeah.
transcend on opponent's turns. It's not the worst. And if you ever pitch a chi to this card, it's busted.
Yeah.
You just one card blocked 5. Like that's doing the attuned with the elements cosplay over there. Um,
Yeah.
like
Right.
especially in like if you can keep these cards in your deck too and like pitch them with your chi for second cycle, like just making sure that your chi is never a liability, very strong.
Yeah.
um I think Enigma wants it. If you're playing like a very like defensive Zen build that's like trying to like pitch stack some sort of like crazy tiger combo, um like I'm hearing murmurs that like that's the hip thing for Zen to
Yeah.
be
Yeah. I
like
heard that
super
too.
turtle boy. Like this is like very good at achieving that, especially because he's going to be transcending and then shuffling his cheese. So you might just like randomly draw a chi and you're like, I need the block, and it's just like, oh, here's your one.
Mm-hmm.
Just draw your card back. It's fine. Um,
Yeah.
so I think this is probably like okay, I see you though, because I don't think it's auto include in any of them, but it's definitely like the it's definitely getting the side eye from all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in the 90, right? The top 90.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely in the 90 to 100. Yes.
yes, yeah, it's right on the cusp of like, should this be in the deck?
Yeah.
Okay, next one up. This is a Mystic instant, dense blue mist, cost 1 blue. Attacks that target you this turn get -1. If a chi was pitched to play this, effects don't trigger if an attack hits you this turn. I mean, it's very situational. It's an instant, so it doesn't block. It cost 1, so it kind of
It's it's a ninja hate card.
yeah, and
So one, you want to be like you would want to be a deck that's like playing on your opponent's turn. So like maybe Enigma, maybe New, but like it like if but the thing is I think New has a good enough matchup into the ninjas that she doesn't want this card. So it's probably just an Enigma card. Um
yeah.
I think it's just adorable. Like I don't know that this card is like all of a sudden gonna solve your ninja problems.
Hmm.
Trust me, you got ninja problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it does, it'll like it's basically just it might as well just say like Mystic Illusionist on it because like Zen is okay. Maybe unless you're like super ninja turtle mystic Zen, but like and you're playing in the ninja mirror. But even then, like man,
Yeah.
so um,
All right. Yeah. That makes
too
sense.
adorable.
Um Next one up is a Mystic instant.
Mhm.
It is Orihon of the Mystic Tenets. I think it costs 4. It's legendary. It says draw 2 cards. If a chi was pitched to play this, instead draw 3 cards. It's pretty decent. You have to pitch 2 cards into it to get your, and then you get those 2 cards back, or you get 3 cards if it was a chi. Yeah, it's one of, so that kind of hurts it a bit.
I think this card sucks because like you think about like what like you look at the heroes and like what pitching a chi can do for you, like
Yeah. Oh, that's a valid point.
making two crouching tigers in your hand broken. Like
Yeah.
drawing a card off of like broken. Like making +2 counters on Miragi's little thing. Broken. I
Yep.
forget what Gorgon's Gaze does.
Yeah.
Broken.
Yeah. Let you play them for free, all the cards, no matter the pitch color.
Yeah, that's broken.
Yeah, it's broken. This is like the most normal ass thing you can do with a cheat. It's draw one extra
It's just draw
card.
one extra card. And it like you were already drawing 2 cards, so like drawing 1 card, like is it, oh, you also have to like pitch it, so you have to either draw a chi, or you have to
Yeah.
have transcended, which means you've played another blue card, then played when you're transcend cards, and then you still have this in hand, and then you have to find one extra resource to then draw new cards. And it's like you playing blue cards is adorable, but it's not that adorable.
Yeah.
So I want to put this in dust tier, but it's just Timmy enough. I think it makes it into the adorable tier.
Yeah. I think it's like the tip plating is like Tome of Divinity, right? It costs 4. But they've updated it a bit and made it a legendary, so it's only 1. So I don't know, Nate. You might be right. This might be dust tier because it's literally you only need 1 of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put it in dust. I'm willing to be wrong on this, but I don't think it's all that great. Like you said, when you're comparing what you can do with chi, um, this might be the least impactful thing you can do with chi
I almost
from the cards that we're reviewing today.
I almost wonder, because this is legendary, I wonder if at one point this was one of the transcend cards.
Mm,
And like it, so like you could draw 2 cards and transcend, which is like, okay, you've spent 3 cards but you get 1 back and 2 fresh ones. That's a
yeah,
that's a reasonable deal. It's not
yeah,
great because you're just drawing random cards off the top and then getting a chi. It's like fine, but like that's not kind of like what you want to be doing to figure out what you're going to be doing with your life. But I think it was probably also too powerful, because that like does feel like a very, it kind of feels free when you can just like basically
yeah,
just trade out two blues for 2 resources plus a new chi. That is kind of broken. So I think they probably just
yeah,
took the transcend off of it maybe at one point. I don't know.
yeah,
Dust tier.
yep.
All right, let's get
Dust
into the
tier.
hot stuff.
All right, so yeah, I think we got there. So this is an assassin attack action. We're out of the mystic locked cards.
Yeah.
This is Bonds of Agony. It is a blue 0 cost attack. Attacks for 1, blocks for 3. It is a stealth card, and it says if you played or activated 3 or more attack reactions, this chain link, this gets +3. And when it hits a hero, look at their hand, choose a card, search their deck and their graveyard, and banish up to 3 cards with the same name as the chosen card they shuffle. Oh boy.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me?
Yeah.
This card's
This card is
broken.
nuts.
It's
Yeah.
insane in the membrane.
Yes.
Like, hey, Bolton, I'm attacking you for 1. What would you like to do? And they're like, give you everything I own. I don't want to see this card ever again in my entire life. And they're just holding up
Yeah.
like 3 cards, like, what would you like to do, Sir Bolton? Like, here's all my armor and 3 of my cards. You can have 3. 3 cards, all my armor, I'm blocking 12.
Yeah.
And then just like, cool, I'm gonna go again, I'm gonna play another one.
Yeah.
It's just like
So
this card's
like
insane.
yeah, your armor counts as attack reactions, right? With assassin a lot of the times. So you have it on board. You kind of you know this comes down, right? It's like so that's not a huge requirement. It is some hoops to jump through. So I'm not saying this is just like auto every time. The +3 is important, right? There's things like shred
Yeah.
that can definitely ruin your day with this card. And then, just going and grabbing. So, worst case for your opponent, this hits, and then you go and they have their power card, their Blood Rush Bellow,
Yeah.
their Art of War in their hand, and then you just take it from them. Art of War being the one that where I'm going with, you can't do this, but like best case scenario when you play this, they give you the Blood Rush Bellow because
Yeah.
you can't look in their hand then and take it out of their deck.
Right.
So that's like that's like win and then win, win, win. Like if they keep the card in their hand. So like, yeah, this card's 3 of, and since it's assassin, it's not locked to a mystic to new.
Yeah.
I think Azuri wants to play this. I think yeah, Azuri definitely plays this. And then if you're playing Arachne, you probably think about it. Like,
If you're playing Arachne, reconsider your life decisions.
yeah, start before you ask should I be playing this card, ask what hero you should be playing.
It's probably it's the best card Arachne's gotten since his release, so it's fine. Like
Yeah, this is a banger.
the fact that it's a stealth card too is like Yuzuri wants this card because it's just like it's a blue that just like asks so many questions of your opponent. Like you can
Yep.
just like literally have nothing, but they just don't want to deal with it. Typically, the assassins are going to have like 2 equipment pieces that provide attack reactions, and then you just need one more in hand to turn this on. And then like if you have like just a Nick, this is going up to 9. What?
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
and like I've been seeing like I've been playing Enigma, but like they've been running Vambrace into me. But like if you really want to activate a lot of these like stealth effects, just keep Vambrace on board. You literally have it every single turn. It doesn't matter that like
Mhm.
the effect doesn't like trigger. You're literally just trying to turn on some of these effects half the time. So, um, like this card is just oh, man, it is. I hate playing against this card. I hate playing against Assassin to begin
Yeah.
with, but like this card is just like it's no fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
which also spoiler alert, so is the next card. No fun to play against. At first I read this card and I was like, it's like medium, but then I realized like, no, it's just good too.
Yeah. Persuasive Prognosis, blue 0, assassin attack action, attacks for 1, blocks for 3, stealth. When this hits a hero, banish the top card of their deck, then look at their hand and banish a card with the same color as the banished card. Whenever this banishes an attack action card, oh sorry, whenever this banishes an action card, gain 1 health. Yeah, that's just annoying.
This card
That's
is
just
very strong.
yes.
Because if they no blocks your one attack, you're probably going to take a card out of their hand
Hmm.
and heal some amount of life, either 1 or 2.
Yep.
Like this card's, I think this card actually might be better than Bonds because it takes a lot less to be good. Um, especially in Yuzuri when you're just like, I have this and I have 1 card in my hand, no arsenal. What am I doing?
Yep.
Like,
What?
am I swapping? Or am I just
Yeah.
like playing this to make you deal with it? Because like you got to deal with this. Isolate, whatever. Isolate for 1, I'll flesh bag it, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
so this card also very strong in both Yuzuri and New, and we won't
Yep.
talk about Arachne again.
All right. Yeah, so this is a banger as well.
Yep.
Dude, these cards are so good. Next up, Nate, is Just a Nick. This is an assassin attack reaction. It says choose one or both. Target attack action card with 1 or less base attack gets +5. And then the second bullet point says target attack with stealth. When this hits a hero, banish the top card of their deck.
All right. I really want to ask someone else ask the question. Why does it say or both? Like, when do you ever just be like, I'll
Just
take 1,
choose both.
please?
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch my
Like,
figure. I'm only taking 1 this turn. I'm only giving it the +5. You can keep
give
your
me
cards in your deck. Don't care about banishing them. Um,
yeah.
like this card, insane and new. I think
Yes.
still good in Yuzuri.
Yep.
Because like even like Yuzuri and like the end game states, like sometimes they would try to pitch their nimbleisms with their isolates, so they could go like isolate nimble, like nimbleism isolate. Here's my
Yep.
dominated 6. This does it
Yep.
on the blues, just better, and it turns
Yep.
on your blues that you just got with on hits.
Yep.
Cards very good. a little less situational and maybe not always a 3 of. So I would
Mhm.
say probably slaps, but this card is like definitely like a 10 to
Yeah.
$15 card pretty easily. And I think we've
Mhm.
seen that kind of like across the board with Assassin. It's a very popular class, so the cards will usually carry value, and if they are very good, they carry a lot higher values. So
Yep. All right. Totally agree with that one. Let's move on. So this is an illusion action aura 10,000 year reunion. It costs 8. It is red. It says you may remove 3+1 counters from among 3+1 counters from among auras you control rather than pay this card's cost. It is Ward 10.
I like big numbers and I cannot lie. Um, I read this card and I was just giddy to the moon. I was so all I want to do is swing for 10 and
Yep.
then have 10 block on board. And then I realized this card doesn't have go again. You have to
Hmm.
remove +1 counters from spectral shields that you've already somehow stuck to the board and kept alive
Yep. Yeah, and spend resources to put +1 counters on them.
and spent time and resources to put +1 counters on them to then put them on, like to remove them to play big dumb thing that is almost certainly going to take a shitload of damage for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's interesting at the very least because like
Yeah, it's
it's still Ward 10, which is a very large number. If Azalea did
yep.
not have Murkmire Grappler, I would be very interested in this card.
Yeah.
I think it probably ends up being closer to mid as hell. Um, you think it's adorable?
I mean, I think yeah, it's probably mid.
It's illusionist. It's illusionist. So like any future illusionist could play this as well. It's still
True.
Ward 10, which is a
Yeah,
very
Ward 10 is kinda crazy.
very large number. Um,
I guess you could just play this for its cost too. I
it
mean,
not
if you're just doing something, if you just your hand doesn't it's just a bunch of blues or something.
mhm.
I don't know.
It like uh, if you're like if I don't think I think Guardian is actually probably an auto loss to Enigma. Um, to be completely honest, but like let's say the Guardian matchup becomes an issue, like you can
Mhm.
just like use the new boots to boots this in with the fur
Yeah.
um, to swing
Yeah.
it for 10 and then have it block 10, which is very, very strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll make decks, but I think it's enough of a Timmy card that it'll hold a decent price tag just because it's illusionist too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can put that in mid. So Rage Specter. This is a blue cost 2 illusionist action aura. It says when this enters the arena, if you control no other illusionist auras, gain 1 action point. During your turn, this has ward 6. Otherwise, it has ward 1. Blocks for 3.
So, oh man, what is the they always say all the guardians on the Twitterverse always like say like show this blue 6 to an illusionist to scare them,
Yeah.
or to like a prison player, that they have like another blue 6 to block with, or it was mostly when Dromai existed, but like
Mhm.
show this to a Kano player and just like see what what happens.
See what's up, bro?
Hey, bro, this says Ward 6 on my turn.
Yeah.
I still think it's like a very good Enigma card. I think it's like
Yeah.
this card is it might as well say Mystic Illusionist though, I think for like the foreseeable future. But I think this is a 3
Mhm.
of an all Enigma deck. So like it's at least mid as hell, if not like okay, I see you.
Yeah. I mean, I think if it's Enigma is probably gonna be pretty popular. So I think okay, I see you jumps up in there,
Yep.
you know. Okay, next one up is Restless Coalescence. This is a yellow pitch, cost 0, illusionist instant aura. When this enters the arena, move any number of +1 counters from auras you control onto this. Once per turn instant, Remove a +1 counter from this. Create a Spectral Shield token. It does have Ward 2 as well. Obviously, it's an instant, so no block.
This card is flipping insane.
Yeah.
Like the ability to, especially in Enigma, to like swing with anything that has +1 counters on it and then go play this at instant speed and then be like, give me all those, I'll swing with them too. Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
fucking like WWE tag team match over here with this card.
Yeah.
But not only that, once both of those are done swinging, then you can start spitting off the freaking +1 counters for more block. Like,
Yeah.
I love this card. I think it's I don't know if it's good enough for like the Aura Prism deck. But
Mm-hmm.
it's certainly interesting for the Aura Prism deck.
Yeah.
So I think
You know, one thing
sorry, go ahead.
that's kind of interesting with this, Nate, is like you said, you can kind of attack twice with your +1 counters if you do that, right? You can collect them up on your turn. You can also, if you have a bunch of auras out with +1 counters and someone's presenting a lot of damage, this is an instant, so you can play it on your opponent's turn, pull off all those +1 counters, and then decide to pop all those ward first because you decide. So that it is kind of a way to save the like work you have done to build up +1 counters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as great because you do want to be going wide more often than not, but like at the same time, you just can catch yourself. You know, this is like a backup plan almost.
Yeah, not only that, like you can bring it in and still get value off of the +1s by like then immediately it's like spitting off a Spectral Shield. So like I've
Mm-hmm.
had it before where like someone's coming with like Dominate, and it's like I've got like a Spectral Shield with +3 counters on it, and it's like, well, I have no way to cover this unless I basically play this, take 1 Spectral Shield off of it, 3 block, and spit off a Spectral Shield, like take a -1 counter off it, spit off the Spectral Shield, and now I've full covered it. My Spectral Shield's attacking for 1 less, but it's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So like you get really cool
Yeah.
plays like that. So I think it's probably slaps. It's not because I don't think Prism really wants it. I don't think it's gonna get
Yeah.
into that tier, but man, like I think this card is gonna be powerful for a very long time in Illusionist. And it's gonna be one of those cards that it's like always looked at because it, if anything's creating +1 counters, it's like this card just becomes very, very strong.
Yep. Okay, so we're now moving into the ninja cards, just the base ninja.
Yep.
First one up is Chase the Tail. It is red. It costs 1. It attacks for 4. It blocks for 3. And it says combo. When this attacks, if a Crouching Tiger was the last attack on this combat chain, this gains go again. And if the next Crouching Tiger you play, this combat chain gets +3.
This card is
Yeah.
real good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kitty
1
Cat,
for 7.
yeah, Kitty Cat Katsu and Zen both really like this card.
Yep.
So I think it's I mean, there's not 1 for 7 is a good rate. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a no-brainer that this is gonna fall into the slaps tier.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a very strong card in any Crouching Tiger deck.
Yep, for sure. Okay, yeah, jumping, yeah, 1 for 7, good.
Yep.
Put it in slaps. I like that it has two heroes possibly looking at it. That also helps.
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely slaps tier there. The next card up is Maul. So this is a yellow pitch, 0 cost ninja attack reaction. Blocks for 3, and it says choose one or both. Again, weird. Attack target attack card with one or less base attack gets +3. Target Crouching Tiger gets, whenever this hits, create 2 Crouching Tigers in your banished zone. You may play them this turn.
This card is very strong.
Yeah.
It just enables more combo,
Yep.
and I'm all about degenerate combo.
Right.
It's yellow pitch. It's an attack reaction. So you get to be a little cheeky with it. It makes
Mm-hmm.
it's basically one card to make 2 additional tigers and give +3 to one tiger, like, on a combo
Yep.
turn. Because like, typically, like, in, like, the combo kitty cat decks, you're normally trying to get at least, like, a roar plus an Art of War, or, like, double Art of War or double roar, because you want them to at least be 2, and
Right.
because, like, otherwise it's really just, like, not worth trying to, like, pop off. Um, so, like, a D react isn't gonna catch this in those scenarios because it should be pumping it to 5. And then you just create, like, 2 more tigers and then just, like, keep going and going and going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I really like the card. I think it falls in the, like, slaps tier, because I just don't think Ninja gets the same love as everybody else.
Yep, for sure. All right, next card up, Territorial Domain. It is blue, cost 0. It is a ninja defense reaction. While this is defending, if you've created a crouching tiger this turn, it gets +3. So then it jumps up from 2 to 5.
Card sucks.
Yeah, you don't really create tigers on in defense all that much. I guess there's some common or rare equipments that do it, but I don't think you're going to be playing those in CC, to be honest.
No.
So,
So there's the tiger reflexes from the round the table
oh,
deck,
yep,
that are black cards that
block
do it,
cards.
and there's the boots, and that's it.
Hmm.
Those are the only things
Yeah,
that create
that's
tigers
tough
on the
then.
opponent's turn without being super jank about it. So that one's going straight into the adorable tier, because people will still
Yeah.
look at it and see 0 for 5. You just have to make it look good. Analysis is starting to realize that. It's really cool. So, like, um, they made a lot of they made a talented set with a lot of non-talented class cards that are very strong, which is great for the box.
Yep.
And then the cards that suck, they didn't just make it like this card's just not very good. They made it very Timmy centric, right? Like, they made
Yeah.
it look like it's good. Someone's going to read that and be like, I heard that Michael Hamilton guy say that a 0 for 5 is good, and this could be a 0 for 5. Will it ever? I don't know. Will I build my
Yeah.
deck to try to do it once and then feel so proud of myself? Yes, I will. And then, like, that's all you need to do to sell these cards.
Yeah. If you watch the heavy hitters tier list, we thought Boast was going to be better than it was. So we're not making that mistake again.
Yeah, we're not Timmys. You're Timmy.
Yeah. All right. The next card up is Rowdy Locals. It is a blue 0, a generic attack. Oh, we're into the generics now.
Ooh.
Blue 0, generic attack. Its base is 2 and it blocks for 3, which is kind of neat. Blue 3, not bad to put into a deck. And it says if this is defended by an action card, this gets +2. When this hits a hero, discard a card. If you do, they do. They discard a card.
Do, you do, boo do. This card ain't do. I think this card's decent. It's a blue black 3. Great start.
Mm-hmm.
Cost 0. It's kind of a ninja card. Mostly like Zen and Fi, because, like, they both have tokens that they just don't care if they
Yeah.
discard, but are okay to set. So, like, you can, with Fi, you can go like, here's my stupid starter, here's my stupid Emberblade, pick up my Phoenix Flame, throw Rowdy Locals. And
Yep.
then it's like, listen, my Phoenix Flame's worth 1. I'll put it in my arsenal. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you let this hit, I'll discard it and you'll discard. That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
that's a card you
Yeah.
get for free.
And since like blocking with the card with an action card pumps it to 4, so then your opponent has to block with 2 cards. So it's basically like if they don't let it hit, you're basically getting the same outcome in a way, right? Like
Yep.
you're taking 2 cards no matter what if they decide to block, and then if they no block, they're taking 2 damage and losing a card. So it's
Yeah.
like, and then in the case that you're talking about, like the best case scenario, because if you don't have a card that you just have made. I think New also makes some cards with the Slither and stuff.
Yes, this is
Um,
true. Yeah, and she can give it go
um,
again. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
yeah. So there's some play here. I think it's a very interesting generic card
Yeah,
that has a very high ceiling. But yeah, we'll just have to see where this plays out. I think meta
better than Nasty
dependent, hero dependent.
Surprise.
What was that?
It's better than Nasty Surprise,
Yes.
and I can
Yes,
move,
they've made it better.
and I can sell that card all day long for $3.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're
Mid,
saying that, then it must be in the mid tier,
yeah, mid as hell.
$5 or
It's probably
so.
like a $5 card, which is fine. Like
Yeah.
that's the beauty of this is like it doesn't have to be crazy busted. It just has to be like not
Not dust.
dog
not
water.
not not 20 cents. Yes.
Yes.
I agree. Speaking of a card that is not 20 cents and will not be 20 cents, next card up is the Weakest Link. It is a red attack, a generic attack, cost 2, attacks for 6, blocks for 3, and it says when this hits a hero, look at their hand, choose a card base, without base,
Base block.
block.
Yep.
Yep. If you do, they discard it and you draw a card.
Hey guys, remember when Codex of Frailty was a $15 card?
Yeah.
Pepperidge Farm
Yeah.
remembers. Hey guys, do you remember when Warmonger's Diplomacy was a $15 card? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't gonna be no $15 card for long. Put that baby in banger.
Yeah, I agree. I think this card is very strong. It has a lot of targets right now. It's just going to have, you're going to be playing it in a decent amount of matchups, right? We've already kind of talked about this on the Buylist in the last couple of weeks, is that KO doesn't like to see this. Levi doesn't like to see this. Yeah, it's a pretty good card, and especially Enigma runs a lot of no blocks. Mystic cards, obviously, a lot of those instants are no blocks, so it's definitely targets possibly the upcoming meta pretty heavily.
The other thing too about like we think about Warmonger's Diplomacy and how that was like played in like the Lexi meta and was like trying to target Azalea briefly. Like no one really plays Warmongers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it's still a $40 card. The thing is that
Yep.
this is going to follow very much the same trends. It's very strong right now in this meta, and it will probably be very strong in a later meta. But people aren't just gonna like ditch their 3 copies because it's not meta relevant anymore. I'm gonna sell it.
Yeah.
Like it's because they know as soon as it becomes meta relevant again,
Yeah.
it'll go right back to freaking $45. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's I to be clear, I don't think this is a $45 card.
Yeah.
With how they're printing the rarities now, I think there's so many good cards in this set. It makes it so that there's not going to be Codex and Warmonger's territory again because
Yeah.
those are basically some of the few good Majestics in the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like this will easily probably be like a $20 to $30 card.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah, it's a banger for sure. Okay, so this is one. So Prismatic Leyline.
Mhm.
It's a generic action. It is a yellow pitch, cost 0, and it says your next red attack this turn gets +1. Your next yellow gets +2, and your next blue gets +3. I it's very hero dependent, right? I think ninjas want to play this, especially. I think Katsu is like pumping his fist because he plays the cycle of bonds, he plays cycles of some other cards, I think, as well. Right now, that's the only hero I can think that you would be able to get max juice out of this.
Yeah.
So pretty limited use, but very strong. This card is a card that I could see like 2 sets from now being like, oh, this card works with this new hero
Yeah.
very well.
Yep.
And you just slot it in and you don't look back.
Yeah. It's like a bluenism. Blue it's blue nimblism. That blocks 3, right?
Yeah.
And then you get like bonuses past that. And they've been doing a lot of like color matters kind of stuff. So I think it's definitely good. It's good enough to be like, okay, I see you. Right now, because it is generic and people, there's going to be the group of players who always just pick up their playsets of everything to like
Yep.
insulate themselves. And then you are going to have all the Katsu gamers and like potentially Zen gamers who are like,
Mm-hmm.
this card's pretty good. I'm going to pick it up and play around with it. And then like, it also like reads really strong. Like we've talked about that. Like it reads really strong for the Timmies.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this card could surprise us though and easily be like slaps or bangers. But I think that like
Yeah.
probably honestly it does feel like kind of like down and dirty to me. Like it
Yeah.
probably shouldn't see much play, but it will. So like it
Yeah,
might
it's possible.
it easily could be slaps there. But now
All right.
we're hitting the spice rack.
All right. All right. We can probably do a little bit of a speed run. We've talked about all these cards before.
Yeah.
Definitely in the last couple of weeks, they've all been spoiled early.
Yeah.
So visit the Goldmane estate. After seeing like News Kit, I'm a little bit lower on on Victor. But this card still is it's just absolutely insane. It's a Victor spec, so definitely going to bring it down, probably to okay, I see you. But I think if you're playing Victor, you need 3 of these instantly, and I think that will keep it around that $5 to $8 range.
Can I say something a little off the cuff? I mean, it's an hour and 12 minutes. Like
Yeah,
Victor players are gonna be Victor players, and y'all know why. Like
yeah.
we all know. Victor players aren't leaving Victor. All right. There's a
No,
reason
yeah,
they are Victor players.
yeah.
So like yeah, I think it's definitely like it depends.
I mean, Trounce is like a $5 card right now, and so like we'll see this as a premium at first, maybe like $10 week of, but then I think this will settle in around $5 to $8.
So here's the thing. We've had 2 sets of expansion slots. There's bright lights and there's heavy. Heavy hitters, the expansion slot was a lot more heavily printed.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rarity was reduced. So in bright lights, it was about 7 cases to get your playset of expansion slots, and I believe it was closer to 5 because it was like 27 boxes in bright lights, where it was like 22 in heavy, which is a pretty big drop. Which is why we see the expansion slot cards be a lot cheaper, and why we see bright lights expansion slot cards be a lot more expensive. Now, also, no one opened bright lights because it wasn't
Yes.
great, which is also why they're more expensive as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they course correct and if they do. So these could be $5 to $10 majestics. They could also randomly be 20 just because of what they saw from heavy.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's a great point. The next one here, again, we've seen ages ago. Visit the Golden Anvil. It's Olympia spec.
Mid as hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one gets knocked down a tier just because I don't think this is what Olympia like. I think he probably still needs another piece.
He needs a lot
It's
more.
it's definitely interesting to see where they're going with him. I think they're gonna trickle out some parts for him.
Yeah.
Down the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one here, Nate, Supercell. We've talked about this a bit before. Man, I wish you could just bank up a bunch of Steam counters, but you can't.
Yeah.
I still think that this goes in your max deck regardless because it enables you to. It's another enabler to get to that 3 hyperdrivers that you need for the mech.
Yep.
So I think this is probably mid as well. Max has got a lot of silver bullets out there that really just like like just stop him dead. It's not like, oh, I can like take a hit and then get back up and finish the game. It's like, nah, you instantly lose.
Yep.
Which is tough. But he is super powerful, and like, don't be surprised if you see him win some stuff or do well. Be in the top tables. I don't think he's top 8ing at Nats, but like I think you would be like, hey, there's a max in top 20. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't be surprised by that. Then yeah, we're hour and 15. So the next 4 are the AB Evos. Adorable for like all 4 of these.
Yeah,
I
they're
know
just
they have different.
adorable.
I mean, like
No one else
gonna be,
wants to play them. At least like Dash is giving Supercell a little bit of side eye. Like nobody else
yeah.
wants to play these. Taglovazin doesn't want to play these damn things. But they do
It's matchup dependent.
they
Yeah.
do expand his kit. They're adorable. They'll be like $3
Yep.
cards. It's whatever.
Yep. Which I think is not bad, but
Yeah.
for like this type of card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long Dong Half Bow.
Yeah.
What is it called? I forget. I just like to
It's a long draw, but around here it's a long dong.
Long Dong.
So long dong half-glove. Yeah, we've talked about this. I think I don't know.
It's
Some
adorable.
kind of it's some kind of future tech, maybe some Riptide jank.
Yeah. Speaking of Riptide jank,
Murky Water. Riptide spec again, so it's locked in. You're not playing this in Azalea. I think it's really good for him. But Riptide. I think he's gaining popular. No, he's always been popular. He's probably gaining some. He's been gaining some traction.
yeah.
Unknown how that goes for him. I think this card's really good, and every Riptide player needs 3 of them. Probably adorable. I don't know how it maybe it bumps into the $5 range.
I think it's at least mid as hell because he is gaining a lot of traction and he's actually like pretty good right now.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
mid as hell is fine. There's always the rip titties community that just loves their boy.
Kindle. This is the Amp 1 red wizard card. I've seen some video thumbnails saying that this card is absolutely broken.
Yeah.
My brain does not have enough wrinkles to do wizard math, so I'm just like, you tell me it's broken, I guess. Cool.
So they released the new Blaze promo too, and this card's like pretty cool in Blaze. And I think this is like it's really cool the direction they're taking. So I think this card is like I think it's okay. I see you. It's a great Kano card, and I think this is kind of also like maybe leading some breadcrumbs to what they want to do in the future because this also hits the Surgeon Aether Tide, that weapon.
Yeah.
So I think this is like one of those breadcrumb expansion slot cards that also buffs what we have right now.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
We've next one up is the Shadowrealm Horror. Again, we've talked about this. We've gushed over this card. Man, 2 for 6. Oh, it's like it's Levia's power card. It's really good. It's a 3 of an every Levia. I think this is okay. I see you all day.
Yeah.
Levia is a pretty strong contender in the meta right now. See how that shakes out. But I think she just does big numbers, man. And like,
I'm gonna argue that
that's
it's gonna end up being mid as hell because Levia cards
really
Levia cards never sell. You like Slithering Shadowpete is like a $3 card, and that's like one of the stupidest cards I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that is a very valid point.
And like you've seen it too. Like the Dusk Till Dawn Levia cards, even though they're very strong, like they just don't sell very well.
Yep.
Like they just are very slow movers. So like I think it's just like mid as hell. It's like she has like a cult, and that's about it.
I think it starts mid as hell, and then if she kind of continues, like if this is her like Tome of Imperial Flame, like the card that just kind of like puts her pushes her a little bit to the top,
Yeah.
right? Like it's unknown because these new heroes are going to shake up everything. But if she can like wade through those waters and get to that point of where it's like she's doing real damage at top tables, this will jump up. Definitely not the banger, but definitely it will jump up to like a $10 card minimum, right?
Yeah.
But that is very unknown at this point because there's a lot of cards in this set that kind of really hurt her,
Enter prayer.
including the Likas Week.
Yeah.
The Likas link is tough, especially if you have Art of War, and then also New and Azuri getting Bonds of Agony targeting her power cards is tough sledding.
And not letting her feel grave.
Yes, that is very true.
It's a little tough.
Whoa, we made it.
We made
longest
it.
episode, but Eloquent Eulogy. Yeah, we know about this card. I'm super excited about this card. Runegate 1, we talked about it. Really solid, really awesome. Man, Enigma, like, haha, we can do unpreventable damage very easily. We can blow up all your stuff. We got a great matchup. And then I saw the assassin cards, and I'm like, never mind. I mean, it's just too much banish.
Yeah.
And then you just die because you have no action points. So I think, if new is just not in the meta, right, or very low amounts, then I think I think Vincent can do very well. I think if new is in the meta, which I think she will be, it's going to be tough sledding. I think this is an adorable for now, but then as soon as they push Vincent again, this can jump.
No shot. Dude, all of her widespreads sell so well.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Adorables 3. Okay. It's a little bit late here. So, yeah. Adorables 3 and mid as hell is like 5, we said.
Yeah, like
All
5.
right. Yeah. It's definitely a $5 card.
Yeah. All day.
It does have some room to go up if she becomes meta, but like I said, there's very clear decks that attack her. Fatigue, new, especially. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a very good card that slots into a deck that is oddly popular for like the deck that no one ever plays. Like, I mean, you see it too. Like her cards sell way better than Levia's cards. It's kind of comical, even though Levia is actually like a real meta force.
Yeah, she's got a real underdog factor to her.
Yeah, people love their Vincent, but they never actually like, sleeve her up and play her.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I got too frustrated. And I get made fun of locally all the time because there's like local people that pick her up and they're like, hey, I just went 3-0. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can definitely do that. I agree. But then, yeah.
Yep. Well, that is the definitive market tier list for
Majestics
for Mistveil. I think it's a very like I think we have a lot in mid as hell, but like I think it speaks to like the strength of the set because I think there's going to be a lot of like $5 to $10 Majestics.
Yeah.
And
I think
I really like the approach that they took with the like design because they could have locked some of these cards behind the Mystic talent and just kind of played a little.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like played scared. Like they could have put like bonds in like
Mystic
and it would have no one would have blinked an eye or thought about it, but like it really helps boxes move when it's not everything is super class locked. So that was really cool. I really liked how they designed it to make sure that these classes feel like true and authentic, but also like there's something for everyone, even outside of the expansion slot as well. So like, man, this set is going to be an absolute banger. I'm excited.
Yeah, I would say, like I think you were alluding at it, right? You look at the chart when we're done and it's like, man, that looks a little bottom heavy. I thought this set had a lot of good cards in it. I think the difference is if you went back to like Bright Lights, I would say like half of the mid is hell, and maybe half of the adorable would be in the dust tier.
Yeah,
There's like
100%
like quantum something, system reset, system
garbage.
failure.
Yeah,
Think of
garbage.
all those cards. They're like 20 cents each, and they
Yeah,
just won't see play because they're like weird, and like maybe someday they'll be like $5.
no,
But
they'll never be any.
today's not that day.
They suck.
And yeah, I know. So it's just like I'm just like, yeah, when you look at this, don't be I think this is a very positive direction, right? You have a very powerful top, you know, top amount of cards that are going to be expensive, and then you have a lot of cards that hopefully Nate and I are right. I think we have a pretty good pulse on it, but I think it's you know, a lot of $3 to $5 cards, which is like really good for box EV.
Mhm. Yes. Like it just feels so bad when you open a box and it's just like, oh, I opened, oh, look at that reckless charge. Uh, like,
Yeah,
like just not opening like the absolute garbage. Like, because I think even if you're opening some of the like adorable and mid as hell, like you're still getting the $30, $40 a box, and it might be one of the worst boxes you've ever opened, and you're still getting the $40 a box in like
yeah,
in value because everything is going to be like 5 to 10.
yeah.
Besides
And if
obviously or the Shrine of Dogwater. Um,
yeah, and if you want to argue this point, I challenge you to go buy a box of Outsiders and open that. See how you feel afterwards.
yeah, and yeah, again,
Because if you don't hit the 3 Majestics that are good from that set, or maybe like if you don't hit Codex of Frailty and like the 2 others that are like over $5, you just feel like you just burnt money, literally
mhm,
lit it on fire. So
mhm,
like, yeah, let's avoid that.
yeah, and
So
like Dust Till Dawn had a little bit of this as well, like with like Poison the Well and like Northern Winds and cards like that. But like I think
yeah,
they did a good job in heavy hitters. Reckless Charge still existed. Um,
yeah, tough.
uh, but for the most part, like I can tell you, like through the like 100 boxes of uh, heavy, all my Majestics moved. I am not sitting on a pile of Majestics like I am for Bright Lights. Um,
True.
so I'm really pleased to see the direction that they're going in. And it is nearly 1 hour and 30 minutes. So I will shut up now. But do you have
Yeah.
anything to add before we wrap this baby up, Ted?
Nope. I think that's going to do it. Please like, subscribe. I appreciate you making it this far. We'll put chapters on this video because my God.
Yep.
Um, yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks, everybody.
Put your money where your mouth is. Meow, meow, meow.
Peace.
Peace.